In today's video, I want to talk about the differences between Filipina and Japanese chicks. Hi guys, I hope you all are doing well. Today, I'm going to talk about the differences between Filipina and Japanese chicks. I use the word chicks because basically YouTube's algorithm has a lot about Japanese girls and Filipino girls. Anyway, I'm using that word chicks. It's not derogatory or anything. I think everybody knows the meaning of it's, basically girls. And I have experience in both fields. I guess if you're first time joining, I've lived in Japan for over 20 years. I was in the United States Navy. I visited the Philippines many times. I've been traveling here on vacation, and I finally moved here. I've lived here for about 4 months now. So I have experience with both Japanese girls and Filipino girls. So let's get into it. And I also want to say before that, sorry, that this isn't meant to demean anybody. This isn't meant to put down either one. It's just my experience. So yeah, let's talk about their looks first of all. Okay, they both have, brown, black hair. Both of them have brown, black eyes. But I'm talking more of, their body type. And so let's be honest. Japanese girls, basically, they are flat-chested and they have flat butts, as opposed to Filipina girls, or chicks. They have, yeah, they don't. They are more curvy, and I think the reason for that is probably from Westerners that have came to the Philippines. And also from their Spanish heritage that was handed down to them, from the past. So, I think that's, one reason for it. I'm not quite sure, but, anyway, yeah. So, let's move on to, the second thing I wanted to say. Honesty. In Japan, basically Japanese girls don't say directly, about their feelings because they're very shy. For example, if you were to ask a girl out, and if, if it was, okay to go somewhere, they'll probably say, it's okay, but maybe they really aren't okay. And the reason they're like that, so they're not really, honest when it comes to answering questions directly. And I think it's because of their culture and them being shy and not wanting to hurt other people's feelings. Even let's go to a steak restaurant or something. Maybe they want to eat Japanese food, but they'll say okay, just because that's what you want to do, and they don't want to hurt your feelings. Filipinas, if you ask them directly, like if they're okay, like if they're feeling well, they'll probably tell you they are or they aren't, where Japanese girls wouldn't. They'd say they're okay and they might be really sick or something because they don't want to make you feel bad or worry about them. But, it can be a little tricky. With Filipinas, they do have, it's up to you attitude. Like if you want to ask them what they want to do, they'll usually say it's up to you. Or, they have the tampo periods where they won't talk to you, and so they may be kind of hiding their feelings. But as far as honesty goes, yeah, I think there's a bit of a difference. Whereas Japanese girls won't tell you directly what they mean, I think Filipinos will. Now, let's talk about time. Japanese girls really care about time. They don't want to be late. Usually, like if you were to meet a Japanese girl for a date, they're there before you. I've had that experience. Meet at a certain time, they're usually way there before I am, even though I'm early. On the other hand, Filipinos are on Filipino time. If you're supposed to meet at a certain time, more than likely, if they won't be on time. Maybe it's because of the road traffic or whatever. But they'll message you and say they're on their way or they'll be there soon. But as far as time goes, usually they're not on time. And language, that's a big difference between Japanese and Filipino chicks. Not all, but I'd say about 95% of Japanese girls do not speak English, whereas most Filipino girls, they speak English well. I haven't met any Filipino girl who didn't have, some basic grasp of English. In Japan, many Japanese girls may have studied English, but they're too shy to use it, even if they know some. So yeah, there's a big difference there in the language and English. If you're in Japan, you probably need to learn Japanese, whereas in the Philippines, you don't really need to learn Filipino because most people speak English here. Japanese, not Japanese, but Filipino girls, Filipino chicks, everybody pretty much can understand English. Let's talk about texting and messages. Filipinos reply to messages that you send to them rather quickly, whereas in Japan, Japanese girls don't talk so much. Like even when you're dating, you might send a text message once a week. You might go on a date once a week and talk then. But I feel like in the Philippines, it's totally different. They will text you back quickly. They like using their phones and sending messages. And they'll reply and talk to you a lot. Alright, so let's talk about relationships and dating now. First, let's start with age gaps. Now, if you are in Japan, you are going to have a very hard time finding a Japanese chick, Japanese girl, dating a Japanese girl, if you are 2 times or more her age. They usually date someone around their own age, probably within 5 to 10 years or whatever age they are. Whereas here in the Philippines, a Filipino chick would probably date an older guy. It could be older than them. It could be twice their age or even more. And they really don't care about age gaps as much as they do support and love. Speaking of love, Japanese girls don't usually say "I love you," especially in public because they're shy. Even when they're married, I hardly ever heard a Japanese girl that was single or married out in public tell their partner that they love them. Filipinos, on the other hand, will say it all the time. They'll say it quickly, even when you first start to date. So there's that. And like affection, also in public, when you are dating or even when you're married, it's basically the same as saying "I love you." It just in Japan with Japanese girls, and they usually it just doesn't happen. And it's rare, if you see a couple, like I said, even a married couple, holding hands or being playful or definitely not kissing in public, not even on the cheek. It just never happens. Whereas here in the Philippines, with Filipinas, they will hold your hands in public. You can probably kiss in public with no problem. You can be playful in public. There might be a little bit of an embarrassment, but nothing like it is with a Japanese girl. So there's a big difference between affection and how love is shown between Japanese girls and Filipino girls. Let's talk about food real quick. Japanese girls love Japanese food, and they eat a lot of it. Sushi, ramen, all kinds of different Japanese foods. They do eat foreign food, but it's not eaten as much as it is like it is here in the Philippines. I feel that Filipinos love Filipino food, but I also feel that they love foreign food like chicken, hamburgers, pizza, stuff like that, almost or on an equal level, I think. Speaking of food, let's talk about drinks, like alcohol. There's a big difference I found. Japanese girls drink a lot of alcohol, just like guys. I know for a fact that they drink beer at night with their meals. They drink wine at night. they go out in clubs and they get like really drunk in clubs. Now, I know Filipinos and Filipina girls, they drink also here. They drink alcohol, but I don't think it's anything like Japanese girls do at home or out in clubs. Let's talk about makeup real quick. Japanese girls, I don't know if you guys have thought about this, but they always wear makeup when, when they go on dates. Even when they're at work, they wear makeup. I saw Japanese girls putting on makeup on the trains many times when I was on a train in Japan. They even have a word for it. It's called makuhara, which is like makeup harassment. Because people wonder, like, why are you doing that on the train? And you should be doing that at home. So they even have a word for it. And anyway, Japanese girls really don't want to show their faces, I feel like. Whereas here in the Philippines, Filipinas, I don't feel wear as much makeup out when they're out. They have that like a natural beauty, and I don't think they wear as much makeup. They don't hide their faces like a Japanese girl would. Anyway, that is about it as far as I wanted to say about the differences between Filipina chicks and Japanese chicks. Can you guys think of anything else? Or if you have any questions about it, let me know. Leave a comment and ask a question about it, and I will try to answer it. Like I said, I have a lot of experience in Japan and in the Philippines. If you want to know like the differences, if you plan on coming to Asia, whether you're going to Japan or coming here to the Philippines, let me know. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great week. Take care out there, and I'll see you in another video.